Clash Royale video, and this is going to be another one of my amazing deck spotlight videos. So guys, before we go into any further, do me a big favour and smash that like button. Let's see if we can get 40 likes on this video. And while you're at it, if you've not already done so already, hit that subscribe button as well. So guys, I'm just going to quickly open up this free chest and see what we get. 70 gold, the Hog Rider, and the Ice Spirits. Obviously I haven't been on this account for a few days, or a day or so. 78 gold, the Furnace, and some Archers. What's been going on in our inbox and tournaments? Obviously a lot of news has been going on. So guys, let's have a look at the deck that we are going to be using today. So the deck consists of one of my favourite cards in the deck, and it's still going to be one of my favourite cards after the slight changes to the Giant. We have the Giant! That's right guys. We then have the Zap spell. We have the lovely lady herself, the Witch. We have the Cannon. We have the Elixir Collector. We have the Poison spell. We have the Musketeer. And we have the Goblins. Now I've been using this deck for a little while, and I've had a moderate amount of success with it. I've not won every single game, but I have won the majority. So let's just have a look at how we've been performing. So as you can see, we have had a 3-1 victory, a 3-0 victory, a 2-1 defeat against a very good opponent, a 2-1 victory, and a 1-0 victory as well. This deck has been performing phenomenally well for me, and unfortunately, as you can see, we have lost a few of these replays, so it is going to be limiting which ones we can actually show, I'm afraid. So it looks like it's just going to be these couple. So we're going to have a look at this one first, which includes the Sparky and the Pecker. So as you can see guys, we do have the Elixir Collector here, so we're going to drop that in the back, pretty much near the match kicks off. As soon as we get to that 10 Elixir, down goes that Elixir Collector. And then we're going to let our Elixir build up before we start our Giant push down one of the charms. As you can see, our opponent has dropped the Furnace in the back, so those Fire Spirits are going to be coming straight for us. Unfortunately, they do take 2 hits as well, which means unfortunately one of those will always get to our tower being level 10. So we started our push down the left hand side, so we dropped down the Giant and we dropped down the Witch, probably a bit too far back there to be fair, as our opponent has dropped his Pecker down the opposite side. So we're going to give our Giant as much support as physically possible here. Our opponent has dropped down the Sparky. Unfortunately, that was a poor place of the Goblins by me due to those Fire Spirits. So we're going to utilise the Poison and the Cannon to take out this Pecker as we take down that first tower. That Sparky obviously is doing some serious damage to our Giant, but those little skeletons are going to absolutely start to go to work on it as our Witch starts to work on that tower. Obviously we're defending all the pushes down this right side, and our Musketeer is doing a good job as well, holding up this side as well. She's going to get a couple of shots off on that tower as we speak. So I'm going to drop the Witch in the back, and then our opponent's going to start with his Sparky Pecker push down this side. Obviously, I used the Zap spell there to counteract its damage. Drop down the Cannon and those the Witch to help stop that Pecker push. Drop down those Goblins in front as well. At this point, we're in a good position. We are stopping our opponent every single chance we get. Now, I'm going to drop the Giant in front of this Witch, and hopefully that she can give him some support with her lovely skeletons. All the time, he's tanking. So those minions go for our Witch, but luckily our Witch just survived. So we drop down that Poison spell, and there we go guys. We take the Crown Tower down for a fantastic 3-1 victory, should I say. So let's have a look at the next replay. Our opponent in this one used the Hog Rider, as well as the Minion Horde and the Wizard, and a few other cards in there as well. Quite an interesting deck. We was able to come away with a solid 3-1 victory here. So let's have a look at how we managed it. So unfortunately we haven't got the Elixir Collector in the back, so it just depends now what our opponent does, how we decide to play. So our opponent does drop down his own Elixir Collector. So he's slightly low on elixir at this point, so we're going to start our giant push down this left-hand side. So down goes the giant as we start to build up our elixir. Unfortunately, we still don't have that elixir collector in rotation yet, so it's just going to be a waiting game. Now our opponent does drop down his wizard. So I'm going to drop down the musketeer behind, and then I'm going to drop the poison spell to obviously slow down that wizard and do some damage to that tower. Our opponent does drop that fireball, which was a very good shot. We use the zap down there to obviously take out that horde. Unfortunately, the wizard does unfortunately survive everything, but we do manage to get their tower down to 1605. Then our opponent comes at us with his hog rider. So I dropped down the cannon as distraction. Unfortunately, I was way too slow. So poor placement from me as well. So our opponent does get our tower down to 1206. Some very poor plays by myself there, which make me look very poor and amateurish. But these things happen, we all make placement mistakes. And at this point our opponent does get down that second elixir collector, so we do go with ours. But then he decides to fireball it. Luckily it's only a level 6 fireball at this point. So I'm going to start my push again down this left hand side by dropping the giant. Also we're going to want to make this a slow push where our opponent drops his wizard in the back. I drop my witch behind my giant close to start, and I drop the poison spell to hit both that elixir collector and that wizard. Using the zap spell there just to keep the wizard in that poison spell radius. Luckily the goblins etc. are going to help slowly take out that minion horde, and the witch is going to start to take out that minion horde as well. So we do have those skeletons up front, so we're going to do a little bit more damage to that tower, not much, getting down to 1166. But we are ahead on the elixir race at this point, so we get down our own elixir collector as well. Our opponent does drop down that hog rider, so I'm going to drop down the cannon. Again, very poor placement from me. Our opponent does utilise that zap spell very, very well there. Down goes my giant now to support that musketeer. We're going to utilise that poison spell again, just catching the wizard. Unfortunately those minions don't all go into the zone, but luckily the zap spell does help to take it down. This giant is then going to take out that tower, giving us the 1 crown to 0 lead. Instead of wasting elixir, I drop down the cannon, and then I drop down the elixir collector in the back. So at this point I drop down my goblins just to help try and slow things down, but unfortunately our opponent is going to take this tower down with those 2 wizards. He does waste his fireball though, and our poison spell does take it out. Obviously we have our giant there, so I utilise the zap on that minion horde, and the witch is going to take them out quite comfortably. Unfortunately that minion horde does do some significant damage to our giant, absolutely destroying it. That poison spell poorly placed. I expected the horde to come a bit closer there. But one of those things, so I do get my giant unfortunately down the field. Unfortunately, he just is able to block for the musketeer. That witch is going to take out that minion horde, and we have now the giant and we have the witch on that tower. I drop down the musketeer in support and that poison spell as well. That giant is doing a fantastic job in counteracting that tower, but the combine of the witch and the musketeer takes the crown tower down for a solid 3-1 victory in overtime. Our opponent did put up a valiant fight there. Obviously everyone in our clan does appear want to actually request the zap spell at this moment in time. Unfortunately, as you can see, I'm requesting it myself, so that's the only time I don't really feel the opponent. Let's have a look what's in here today, because obviously haven't had a look. We will pick up a couple of Valkyries, and we'll pick up those furnaces as well. So guys, that's the deck. This deck works fantastic at all arenas really. All arenas that it's available in. So obviously we can utilise this deck all the way from Arena 6, Builder's Workshop, all the way up to Arena 9. And it works very, very well. So guys, let's just have a look at that deck again. It consists of the Giant, the Zap Spell, the Witch, the Cannon, the Elixir Collector, the Poison Spell, the Musketeer, and the Goblins. Thank you very much, Nate, for those Zap Spells. So guys, that's it from me. If you like what you see, comment below, let me know. If you've not subscribed already, do me a big favour and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you gamers next time. And just if you're interested guys, I'm going to leave this replay going to see how Emperor Yusef and Nath go toe to toe in this friendly battle. I will see you gamers next time. Take care.